Today, we're going to pause. On Remembrance Day, it's so important to take a moment and reflect on a really powerful kind of leadership, one that was forged in courage and, well, truly defined by sacrifice. So let's explore what we can actually learn from the legacy of those we're here to honor.
This quote, it just gets right to the very heart of it all, doesn't it? Courage was never about being fearless. Not at all. It was about finding something that was more important than fear. A purpose, a belief, a deep commitment to others. That conviction, that is the true source of all strength.
So you see, this day is so much more than just the memory. It's really about trying to understand this profound legacy of service and what it can teach all of us about leadership in its absolute purest form. When we really think about the men and women who served, what we're seeing is the ultimate example of this idea, service before self. The act of putting the well-being of a nation, or your community, or even just the person next to you before your own, that is the most powerful leadership statement anyone could ever make. It's leadership through action, not just a title or a position.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. We kind of need to redefine what we often think of as leadership and instead look at the very essence of courage that was demonstrated by those who came before us.
Look, this isn't some corporate buzzword. True leadership is a fundamental human quality. It's that internal compass that just guides you to do the right thing, especially when it's difficult or even dangerous. This is leadership that is lived, not just talked about in a meeting.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. So often, we think of leadership in terms of things like strategy and influence. And look, those things aren't bad, but they're incomplete. The true foundation, the one we're remembering today, is built on service, courage, and purpose. That's where the lasting impact really comes from.
So the big question is, how do we carry this legacy forward? How do we actually honor their memory through our own actions? Well, it really comes down to embodying 4 key values.
The poppy is such a powerful symbol, of course, but the truest tribute we can pay is a living one. It's about taking the principles that guided them and making them a real part of our own lives. Let's take a look at what those are.
First up, courage. And not just the courage on a battlefield, but the courage in the boardroom, in our communities, in our daily lives. It's the courage to challenge something that's wrong, to defend an idea you truly believe in, or sometimes just to speak the truth when staying silent would be so much easier.
Next up, integrity. This is all about character. It's about that alignment between what you say you value and what you actually do. It's the choice you make when there's no audience, no reward, no recognition. You do it simply because it's the right thing to do.
And then there's compassion. True strength isn't just about being tough. It's about understanding and genuinely caring for other people. It's leading with a sense of our shared humanity and recognizing that maybe our greatest responsibility is to look after one another.
And finally, service. This brings us right back to where we started. It's that commitment to contribute to a cause, a community, or a purpose that extends way beyond our own personal gain. It is the absolute core of their legacy, and now it's our responsibility.
Okay, so how do we translate all of this into our own lives? How do we become leaders who carry this incredible legacy forward in a way that's actually meaningful? This is the question for all of us today, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're leading a company, a team, a community project, or your own family, we all have a choice in how we lead. And the amazing thing is, the example has already been set for us.
And here's the answer, really. Real leadership, it doesn't come from a title on a business card. It comes from the example you set day in and day out. It's not about commanding people through fear, but inspiring them with a purpose that you all share, something that's meaningful.
As we start to bring this reflection to a close, let's focus on what a lasting commitment to remembrance really looks like. It's a powerful cycle, and it all begins with gratitude.
What's so beautiful about this idea is just how simple it is. We start by being grateful for the sacrifices that were made for us. But that gratitude, it can't be passive. It has to inspire us to act, to serve, and to lead with that same integrity and courage we're honoring today. Gratitude fuels service. It's that simple.
2 simple words, but they carry the weight of history and a promise for the future. A promise not only to remember them, but to try to live by the very values they defended, lest we forget.